I don't have anything fun and witty to make a video for you about right now because I'm still in holiday mode. So I'm just going to read to you some random facts from one of the history books that I own. Today's history will be about Alexander the Great and his mother and his family, and it is coming out of this, The Young Alexander by Alex Rowson. Well, you can figure it out. Anyway, Alexander the Great here, he actually became the king of Macedonia before the Great part after the death of his father Philip II. Here's a bust of Philip II. And here's what Philip actually looked like when they found his remains. He was messed up from battle. Yeah, he had been messed up. He spent his whole life basically at war fighting like really intense battles yeah. Essentially, Alexander here became king after his dad, Philip, was assassinated during a parade celebration thing. He was literally like standing a few meters away, it's assumed, and his dad was just right through the rib. Now, once Philip was dead, Alexander immediately became king. Like literally, while Philip's body was there bleeding out and cooling on the floor, a bunch of people just like ran to Alexander's side and put like leave the gold laurel on his head and were like, "Hail the king!" and just basically left Philip's body. Anyway, Alexander was actually suspected of being involved with the assassination, specifically because there had been an encounter not long before Philip's death where there was a drunken altercation and Alexander had essentially been kicked out and like banished, and he was away from court for a long time, and it took a while for father and son to come back together. So everybody went, that's pretty suspicious. You've all of a sudden come back into Philip's graces and now he's dead and you're king. That's suspicious. That's weird. But he wasn't the only one, okay? Olympias, who was Alexander's mother, was also suspected because she was hardcore. She had been like the first wife, the supreme wife, and she had been replaced for other younger wives who had more well-connected families. So she had been like sent away from court, and she was really bitter, supposedly, because she had been usurped, and like she was allegedly a very strong-willed and, as some like to say, vindictive woman. So some suspected that she had actually arranged to have Philip killed so that her son could take the throne. But there's no evidence that she did any of that, right? We have no evidence at all that Olympias tried to even have her husband killed. It doesn't make a lot of sense because it actually undermines Alexander's rule, because that tainted the start of his kingship. But do you know what this lady did do? According to Alex Rowson here in The Young Alexander, there is quite a lot of evidence to suggest that Olympias here actually had her husband's second wife killed, or that she forced the woman to kill herself. And that's not it's not even the bad. The bad part is that according to evidence, she also made the woman kill the infant child that she had just born. The rumor mongers after, who were really hostile against Olympia, said that she had drugged the woman and the child into or over a metal oven, but that was never confirmed. It looks more like she talked her rival into. And what's really funny is Olympias would kind of be a boost and a bane on Alexander his whole life, apparently. She was like right in there making decisions all the time. She was consultant on everything. She had a big hand in everything right up until the very end. And then she took a big hand in thing after his death, which brought a lot of chaos and helped to the decline of the empire that he built. Anyway, there's some random Alexander the Great facts for you. Go get that book. It's a really cool book. You should learn about all the women around Alexander. It's fascinating. Fascinating.